Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the homie Maverick, man. We ain't reacted to a Maverick video in a while, but then again, he said his 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 computer went to shit, so he had to go get a new one. So that's why we ain't had no Maverick videos in a while. He ain't had no computer, so he said he got him a new computer. So he said he was gonna make this video. That's what he told me. So yeah. Anyways, though, shout out to the homie Maverick, man. Make sure y'all go support the homie. Run them likes up, the views up, the comments up, and all the subscribers up, and all that over there on his channel. You already know they show that love over here. We're gonna show that love right back. This is top 10 WWE video games of all time. He told me he was gonna do this after the last Watch Mojo video we watched. So this is gonna be Maverick's top 10 video games of all time. So yeah. We haven't reacted to a Maverick video in quite some time, man. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
What's going on, E-Unit? Welcome back to the channel. Oh, I'm out of focus. There we go. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Maverick, bringing you back to yet another list video. First things first, I do want to humbly apologize for leaving y'all dry, because this is coming to you from my brand new Acer Helios Predator laptop, because my old Lenovo IdeaPad S145 laptop decided to not work on me anymore randomly. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, hope you guys like the new setup. Your boy's looking fresh and crispy with his new 720p camera installed in the Predator Helios. Thank you, Acer, for that. You know what I'm saying? You guys can probably see the logo on my chest, being the Punisher, and the logo on my Kango. Can y'all see that? Yeah, I bet you could. I bet you could. But yeah, man, we're gonna go forth and go ahead with this list. But before I do so, I think it's appropriate. I think it's appropriate that I tell you guys one thing. Hold on, I'll be right back. John Cena was right. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go for top 10 WWE video games of all time. I'm gonna spoil something. It ain't gonna be no honorable mentions for this, because I only could think of 10 that I really spent an ample amount of time with, in my younger days and in my adulthood, that I still have fun with to this very day. And some of y'all newer fans of the wrestling video games, might not agree with me, and some of y'all old fans might not agree with me, and that's fine. But what I'm not gonna have y'all do is be disrespectful to me in the comments. We can have a civil discourse, we can have a nice little friendly debate, but I will not tolerate disrespect. All right? It's my first day back doing list videos for you guys, and I just want everything to go as smooth as silk. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive into the top 10 videos all time. Another thing I want to spoil, what won't be on my list. I am not putting no 2K games on my list. And the reason why is I haven't played enough of them to put them on here. I haven't played enough of them to put it on here. Can you blame me for being fair? I've only played really two, and that's it.
I think I'll speak for everybody. Like, if you played the earlier WWE games, like from like WWE No WWF No Mercy, all the way up to like the SmackDown versus Raw series, you more than likely hate the 2K games and you don't play them because they don't feel like wrestling games. They just don't. They don't tap in. And even though the newer games may have those elements that THQ brought, we still not fucking with 2K. I think I speak for all wrestling fans that have played wrestling games from back in the day, like in the Nintendo 64 till the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. I think we can all agree when 2K took over, ain't nobody try to play that shit. And ain't nobody trying to play that shit. Let's just be real, bro.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
Trash.
But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get back into this.
And I didn't have much fun memories playing them both. So, how far can I roll with 2K? You already know what they're doing in basketball. They're doing the same thing with wrestling. But anyway, coming in number 10. We're going to the first wrestling game I ever touched, and that was WWF WrestleMania 2000. WrestleMania 2000. When you grew up like I did with a Nintendo 64, you either had this or one of them WCW games. You know what I'm saying? And another game that might pop up on this list later on. But this game was my very, very first wrestling game I ever played. And I just remember, my brother always picking D'Lo Brown because of his theme song, and me always picking one of the Hardy Boys, mainly Jeff. You know what I'm saying? And we would just have a grand old time. I would pick Chris Jericho, and he would make my brothers tap. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he would make me tap. You know what I'm saying? It was like a race to see who could get to Chris Jericho first because he had the walls of Jericho. But yeah, man. But for what it was worth, for a Nintendo 64 title that was made by Aki, this definitely hit the mark. You know what I'm saying? And it was a great game to first introduce me to WWF wrestling, because I got into wrestling because of the video games, if you didn't know. So yeah, coming in at number 9, we got WWF No Mercy. Now I know what you're thinking. Some of y'all are probably thinking,
You got knocked the fuck out. You got knocked the fuck out, man.
House weight. Top. How? House weight.
I know what y'all thinking. Why is this game so low on your list? Let me tell you why it's lower. It was a great game for the time it came out in, and it did age properly for the time period it came out. But the other games that are on this list took what they had, this and WrestleMania 2000 had, and just did it better. For me, I know for you guys, y'all are thinking about having sleepovers playing this game all night and doing.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. Y'all stuck in the nostalgia. Y'all not really understanding, like, just because the nostalgia is good, that don't mean that the gameplay. You can't tell me that these in Nintendo 64 games are better than the PlayStation 2 era or the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era wrestling games. You cannot say that. You cannot. And if you do, hey, that's you, but you dick riding. Let's just be real about it, bro. You dick riding. Come on, dog.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
There's no way you can say the Nintendo 64 games are 10 times better than the fucking PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era wrestling games. You can't.
The ladder match mode and all that, that's all fine and dandy. And I've had some of those memories too, but I refuse to let that shit cloud my judgment. You know what I'm saying? But let me stop, because it sounds like I'm dragging this game. Literally what I said about WrestleMania 2000, or WWF No Mercy, is like, that times, that times 10. You know what I'm saying? And like, the graphics were damn good. The entrances were definitely better in this game than they were in 2000, WrestleMania 2000. You know what I'm saying? The wrestling felt smoother. It was just an overall better game than 2000. Okay. But that won't be the last WrestleMania you'll see, because as of 8th place, we got WrestleMania 19.
Yes, I'm scared. Yeah.
Now, why is this on the list? WrestleMania 2000 is basically, like what I said about the 64 games. Aki took what they did with the Nintendo 64 era, and they just amplified it times 100 with this one. Revenge mode definitely was the selling point of this whole entire game. The wrestling was way more smoother. You know what I'm saying? Even though some of the finishers was kind of off, because like they had John Cena doing a literal Death Valley driver instead of him doing his FU, it was called at the time, and like his render was him wearing white jogging pants. I did like that he had the necklace on, which was cool, but he needed to have those jorts. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like this because not only because of revenge mode, but the soundtrack was pretty slapping. And this is the first game I played where it had, as you can see on the right hand side, my favorite version of the Rock, which was Hollywood Rock. The one that would make you wait, all that a good amount of like 20-some seconds before he would come out to his theme music. Like he would wait until the beat drop, because he would show just a collage of helicopters just flying over Hollywood and all that. And then finally, when you get to the Los Angeles skyline, you'll hear his vocals say, "Escarpment." Anyway, let me stop. But yeah, man. I also like the fatigue system, and it's like if you had been beaten up on a majority of this match of a match that you're in, you know what I'm saying, you won't be able to move. Like you're pretty much immobile until you find a way to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like if your fatigue meter wasn't flashing with all the colors, or if it wasn't at least in the green zone, like your reverse probability and move execution probability are going to be lower. Like if you're in the blue zone, you might as well, like, unless your opponent takes the E zone, you might as well hang it up. You know what I mean? And then like this is the first WrestleMania where you could spam finishers when you activate your special. You know what I'm saying? Like you could spam finishers. You know what I'm saying? And then it won't be like anybody's business. You know what I'm saying? And even more fun is that every time you beat a stage in revenge mode, that stage in revenge mode comes available as a mini game in exhibition mode. So there's that, and there's also the extra characters you can get in WWE Shop mode there. So yeah, and the intro to this was pretty fire too. But anyway, moving on. Coming in number 7, we got WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. Now, WWE SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. I mean, not only did it have, in my opinion, the greatest SmackDown opener of all time, which was the Beautiful People. Yeah, I know. All you Rise Up fans, go ahead and get mad in the comments. I was more of a Beautiful People person because, hearing that hook of Marilyn Manson just screaming at you just made you feel like, taking somebody down. Rise Up, it had a nice little slow cook to it, but Beautiful People had that I want to come in and smash type shit. I just realized what I just said, guy.
Hey, yo, hey, yo.
Anyway, furthermore, this game actually introduced a lot of cool things you could do, like fighting around the arenas and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Fighting in the streets, fighting at WWE New York. You know what I mean? Fighting them backstage. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, granted, it had all the backstage stuff, but like the fact that you could do it without it even being an I Quit match, because and Just Bring It, it was just limited to I Quit matches, I think. But nah, man, he with such a mouth, definitely like it took the system of Just Bring It and then like amplified it times 100. You know what I'm saying? Graphics way better. The wrestling moves.
This is the official PlayStation 2. This is the first, in my personal opinion, this is the first PlayStation 2 wrestling game. I know that there was Just Bring It, but Just Bring It was Just Bring It was ass, bro. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, bro.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Just Bring It was a it's only ass because of the fucking intro. The intro to Just Bring It, if you know, you know. The intro to Just Bring It was a big fucking letdown. You saw that intro, you thought you was getting that game, and then you play it, and it looked literally like the old SmackDown. Nah. This was the first PS2 SmackDown game. Shut your mouth. It Just Bring It was ass, bro. Let's just keep it real. False advertisement, and then nah.
Try.
You could have just played the PS1 SmackDown games, and you would have got the same. You would have had the same game. Nah. This right here was the first one. After that, here comes the pain, and then the SmackDown versus Raw series started. So yeah, but this was definitely one of them games. This was definitely one of them games for sure.
Way better executed. The character models, way better. Animations, way better. Music, way better. You know what I'm saying? Season mode. This game brought you a real, true to life season mode with the WWE draft. This game brought you all of that. You know what I'm saying? And up until maybe general manager mode, they ain't really have the draft like that no more. So for that alone, warrants a spot for this to be on this list. And as you can see, this is also the debut game of Brock Lesnar and a young Randy Orton. Now, if John Cena and Rey Mysterio wouldn't have debuted it so late, they probably would have made the cut. But since they didn't, you'd have to get a modded version of this game to go play as them. But yeah, man, this is also the last legitimate game we would ever see Jeff Hardy until SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. So yeah, there's that. Coming in at number 6. A lot of y'all finna get mad at me for this too. A lot of y'all finna get mad at me for this. And I'm expecting it. Because number 6 is SmackDown Here Comes the Pain.
You got knocked the fuck out! You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Damn right. You got knocked the fuck out of the top 5. But I'll explain as we go along. But I want to know what some of y'all thinking.
Top. How, Sway?
How is it not in the top 5, Mav Mac? How is it not in the top 5? Well, it's simple. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain may have introduced a lot of shit that, made wrestling games thrive, like the animations, the reversal system, the finishers, you know what I'm saying? Animations looked way better, the entrances, you know what I'm saying? Season mode storylines, and then like brand specific storylines too, and then like and they pretty much also had introduced the elimination chamber in this one too. You know what I'm saying? And they also had the finisher system of one part that graduated from shut your mouth that was a part of the finisher system. Here's the ability where you could hold L2 and then do L1 and steal your opponent's finisher when you had two finishers stored up. So yeah, man. There's that. And also this game's extra costumes was pretty fire. And this is the second game I ever got to see Hollywood Rock. And that's my favorite version of the Rock. But what keeps it out of the top 5 for me is that most of the other games took what this game had to offer and just executed it better. I'm not saying that this isn't a bad game. I'm not saying this doesn't deserve to be to have its own argument, but a lot of games did it better. Here comes the pain. And
That's true. This is what I said. This may be the game that may have introduced a lot of stuff, but other games just did it better. You can't sit up here and just say, well, this is the first game that did it. The fuck does that have to do with anything? So what if this was the first game that did it? This is still, it's a great game. Like I said, in my personal opinion, it's top 5, but I'm not finna put this over a SmackDown versus Raw 2006, 2007, 2011. I'm not putting it over those games. I wouldn't put it over those games only because they did shit better. Or just because you can jump off of buildings and helicopters and shit don't take away from what those games did. They did them 10 times better, bro. It just is what it is. It's called Evolution. Not the group with Batista, Triple H, and Randy Orton and Ric Flair, but actual evolution. You saw the evolution of the game. The wrestling games were evolving. They were becoming better than the last game. Now, some may say that the first SmackDown versus Raw maybe have been a step back from what Here Come the Pain was. I have a slight disagreement with that. I think it took a step back in the realm of how many playable characters there were, but that was because of the roster just shortened after WrestleMania. After WrestleMania 19, I think that a lot after WrestleMania 19, the roster depleted. Rock was gone. Rock was gone. Stone Cold was gone. Everybody was gone, bro. It just is what it is. A lot of people from the Attitude Era was gone, man. It is what it is. Some people leave, man. WWE couldn't keep all these people in here. Like, what? So what? I don't think we can put it past that. But I don't think it's okay to just be like, because the roster is not as good as the last game, I'm not buying it. Like, no. So what? Boo-hoo. Sad story. But I still think that this was a great game. I just don't think that it's better than the games that came after it.
another reason why this isn't top 5 is because if you were to go on freaking season mode and go up against either Goldberg or Brock Lesnar in any sort of last man standing match or awkward match, you better pray to the Almighty God to give you help against them too, because they do not stay the fuck down. They do not stay the fuck down. Fuck! They do not stay down at all. And they made these guys so broken. It's like WWE might have gotten into Akin and Ukes and THQ in them's ears about, okay. We heard that Brock was going to leave us after this year. We heard that Goldberg was out. So let's just make them the two strongest dudes in the game, okay? That's probably what we're doing. Like maybe they'll stay. Maybe they'll stay after we make them the strongest guys in the game. But Vince couldn't be any wrong. And we all know how that turned out by several months after this game came out, because WrestleMania 20, we already know what happened, man. We already know what happened.
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Moving on. Number 5. We're going into the top 5, y'all. I had to put one Nintendo. To be fair, I had to put at least one Nintendo wrestling game in here in the top 5, just so I can be fair. And that lone Nintendo title is WWE Day of Reckoning. Look, man, a lot of these wrestling lists for video games that I've seen, a lot of them leave this masterpiece off. And for what reason? Probably because it has ruthless aggression written all over it, and that is arguably the best era in WWE history. And arguably literally the only era that could compete with the Attitude. My personal opinion is better, but others may disagree. You know what I'm saying? Is it because around this time frame, you know, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit were at the prime of their careers, and we all know how that rabbit hole is? Or could it be? Or could it be the fact that it had a superior soundtrack than most of those Nintendo games, and even some of the?
Nah, it was mainly because people didn't have Nintendo GameCubes. You got to remember, nobody really got into the Nintendo GameCube. The only thing about the Nintendo GameCube was, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you had a PlayStation 2, you're not even looking at a Nintendo GameCube. You're not even looking at anything Nintendo related if you have a PlayStation 2. But I think what it was the GameCube just. You got to think about it. The system looked like a lunchbox, looked like a kid's toy that you would get in a Happy Meal. The goddamn disc, the mini disc was like, fuck we gonna do with these? What are these? What is this mini disc shit? A lot of developers didn't develop games on the GameCube. That's what really hurt the GameCube, was the fact that a lot of developers didn't develop. Like, think about it. Imagine if the GameCube was able to get any of the Grand Theft Auto games from the PS2 era. They probably couldn't get San Andreas, but Vice City and GTA 3 alone would have helped them in sales tremendously. That was a big problem. I think that's why this game gets overlooked, but still though, in my personal opinion, if you ever played this game, this by far deserves to be in the top 10. The Day of Reckoning is one of them games, bro. It's better than them shits on the Xbox. That's for damn sure. Them games, the Xbox is probably the most superior console from a specs perspective, from a technological specs perspective. The Xbox was the more superior console in that era, in the 6th gen era. The PlayStation 2 was great, but it didn't have the same power and capabilities that the Xbox had. And the GameCube, it was there. But still, I think that the only way you would know is if you had money like that, or if your PlayStation 2 broke and your parents couldn't afford to get you a PlayStation 2, but they can get you this GameCube. And you was like, I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do, man. I can't get a PlayStation 2, so I'm gonna have to settle for this GameCube. It's only $40, man. Come on. I mean, let's be real. It was only $40. $40. Remember that, it was only $40.
$40.
But still, I think that's why a lot of people don't fuck with in my personal opinion, that's why I think a lot of people don't fuck with this game, because a lot of people didn't have GameCube. Didn't have GameCubes around the time. Everybody had a PlayStation or Xbox. That was the main thing. You either had an Xbox or a PlayStation. You didn't have a GameCube. And if you did have a GameCube, you were different. But I had a GameCube and a PlayStation 2. But when I had told everybody why I had a GameCube, they was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. And I told them, like, hey, bro, they got some heat over there on that GameCube, bro. So they was like, oh, word, you could play this, that. The only thing you can't do is play Grand Theft Auto on it. It's like, I can't play it then. But it is what it is, though. But yeah, the Day of Reckoning is one of them games, bro. If you ever played it, it's fun as fuck to play, bro. I'll say this. The creation on this game 10 times better than SmackDown versus Raw. Because SmackDown versus Raw in this game is I think they came out at the same time, or I think this came out a little bit before SmackDown versus Raw, the first SmackDown versus Raw. The creation in this game, 10 times better. The creation in this game is fun as hell. It's fun as hell to just create anybody, anything you want to hear. The move set is 10 times deeper than any wrestling game out there. That's the one thing I will say. The move, it is so many moves in this game, bro. You will be going through a long ass list of just kicks, punches, and slams, bro. In this game, by far, this is by far one of the ones, bro.
2K games. But what do I know? But the best, this is by far the best one on any Nintendo console. You could argue Dead Reckoning 2 as well, but it's really just a copy paste of what this one was. And then, like, you know, the only things different are the soundtrack and the season mode and the graphics. That's really it. Oh, and the presentation, however. You know what I mean? But this introduced the momentum shift. Because, like, what WrestleMania 19 introduced to us with how they wrestle in that game, Dead Reckoning did it 10 times better, especially with that momentum shift and the struggle submissions with the ability to literally submit your opponents. Because in 19, you couldn't really submit your opponents out by tapping the buttons. You know what I'm saying? You had to wait until their name meter was in blue. It's still the same thing with Dead Reckoning. Now, you got to wait until their fatigue meter is in blue to have a higher chance of submitting, but it gives the opposing player a fighting chance to at least get out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about Dead Reckoning. And on top of that, unlike WrestleMania 19, WWE Dead Reckoning has some playable legends in it, like Andre the Giant and Brutus Beefcake. You know what I'm saying? It had a lot of great content and material in it. You know what I mean? And also, I love this game because this would be the last game I ever saw Doctor of Thugonomics John Cena as a regular instead of an alternative version of Cena up until WWE 13. You know what I'm saying? And John Cena also did the promotion shoot for this game in a commercial where he's rapping about it. You know what I mean? So he sold me. Like, John Cena sold me to go get this game. And when I didn't have the money to get it, but when my cousin bought it, I immediately went and ran to it whenever my moms would visit his moms, and we would just get it on this. And that wasn't the only wrestling game we would just go at it on. But more on that later. Coming in at 4th place. Now, this is a personal pick for me because the other 3, they're kind of unanimous. But personally, for me, I truly think, with the deep reins in my enigmatic heart, that SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 is a top 5 game. Why do I?
It's debatable. It's very debatable. It's very debatable for SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 to be in the top 10. It's very debatable. But then again, it's only debatable because I have not played 2K14. I have not played any 2K games past 15. So for me personally, this would be one of them games I would have to see for myself. I had to see for myself before I can honestly say. But like, if you haven't played past 2K15, I can understand you saying this. But if you played past 2K15 and still playing all the newer WWE games, you probably would keep this one off. So that's why I'm holding off judgment for right now. Because like I said, I can't make a top 10 myself because I haven't played every game. Until I've played every single wrestling game, as far as like 2K wise, I can't necessarily say that this is the best one. But I'm not going to debate it though. I'm not going to debate it. I just have a problem with the older games being better than the newer games. That was my biggest issue.
I say that simple. The soundtrack, the animations, the presentations, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that this was the first game in a while where, like, I mean, you had this in earlier SmackDown vs. Raws, but you know, it didn't affect your finisher meter at all. The heel face system in this didn't affect your finisher meter or what you could do to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have people cheer, boo certain superstars, and it'd be fine. You know what I mean? Like, me and my best friend put so many hours into this game, and the game also introduced superstar threads. You know what I'm saying? And what I would often do is try to make, you know, outfits that would seem out of the ordinary. You know, make colors out of the ordinary for specific wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? And some wrestlers I would copy paste exactly what they had. exactly what they had during around this time period. You know what I mean? Like I would make Edge's tights red, sometimes white. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I would make I would make a Randy Orton's trunks from gold to blue to red to, you know what I mean, and change the half parts on Rey Mysterio's mask. You probably can't even do that anymore with today's games. Um, Another reason why this is a top five is that this is the last game of peak Jeff Hardy, and you know he was peak Jeff Hardy when he's rocking that OG face paint. You know what I'm saying? And he was a 97 overall in this game, and this game freaking delivered on so many levels, so many levels. If only he didn't leave for TNA the very next year. But yeah, man, overall, this is a great game. Also, this also introduced your ability to create pretty much a whole entire storyline prematurely, instead of going through like general manager mode and trying to like plan out week by week by week. Like you could plan everything prematurely, how long it can last, and then you can have and then you can make cutscenes and all of that with the wrestlers. So, and I would enjoy doing that, from time to time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, SVR 10, great game. Third place, the bronze medal goes to the sequel, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. So with this right here, this game practically took what SVR 10 did and made it better by a million. Graphics, amazing. Road to WrestleMania mode, iconic. My WWE Universe mode. What sold the freaking game in the first place? And no other game since this has done my WWE Universe mode any better. You know what I'm saying? Soundtrack, top tier. Royal Rumble mode, classic. You know what I'm saying? And then like the fact that you can unlock Vince McMahon and Bret Hart on this game too. Stuff of legend. You know what I'm saying? This is also the last WWE game we would see Batista until was it 2K15? Yeah, it was 2K15. So this was the last of heel boo Batista until 2K15. So yeah. Um Sorry, my nose is itching. I think I should shut my window off because some of the air is messing with my nose. But I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna hustle through this. But yeah, and then like the graphics, compare the graphics to this game from what it was last year. Like, don't get me wrong, some of the animations were a little clunky, I will admit, but the amount of crazy fun you can have in this match is legendary. Like, instead of weapons disappearing, like when a weapon was not usable anymore, the broken part of the weapon would stay in the ring. And your wrestler wouldn't be able to get it no more. You know what I'm saying? And then like
That's really what it was. It was the weapons. Also, Road to WrestleMania was probably the biggest selling point of this. I mean, yeah, my universe, the WWE Universe mode, that was cool. But going backstage and interacting with superstars, you can just randomly beat up niggas for no reason. Just because, like, it was fun. This was fun. If there's one thing I can say about a lot of games that had 2011 on it, these were some of the funnest games this year. I don't know what it was about that year, but these were just fun. It was just fun to play games. 2K11, SmackDown vs. Raw 11. Yeah, they had a lot of games this year that was just fun. Just fun. All around fun. Most definitely, man. Yeah, this was definitely one of the ones.
you could also like, and then like also they took what SVR 10 had. Actually, no. SVR 08 technically started the superstar skills, but 09 popularized, pretty much stratified it, and then 2010, improved it even further. But 2011 was the best of every superstar skill that you ever got. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, shout out SVR 11. Oh yeah, this is also the last game where Shawn Michaels would also be playable as his 2000s 2010 self. So yeah, up until recent 2Ks, but coming in second place, it should be predictable at this point. SVR 07. SVR 07. What can we say about it? It's SVR 07. The soundtracks, the general manager mode, fire. The story about getting transformed into. And then there's that eerily creepy prediction that they put in when Undertaker was feuding with Chris Benoit. While Undertaker would be like, when this is over, your family will have nobody to blame but you. I'm like, yo, that's creepy. That's creepy accurate because of what happened in real life. Oh yeah, this is the last game we ever got to see Chris Benoit. And then this is also the last game we would get to see Kurt Angle up until I think it was WWE 2K9 Was it 2K19? Yeah, 2K19. Or was it 2K? Or was it 2K18? It was one of those two. It was one of those two. But yeah, man. Um, the graphics definitely was a big jump, and I'm speaking from a PS2 version perspective, like not from a Xbox 360 perspective, because I'll be honest, the Xbox 360.
Bruh, nobody had this on the 360. Only people that had this on the 360 was rich ass, spoiled ass kids. Everybody had this game on PlayStation 2 and was perfectly fine with it. Trust me, nobody's sweating the Xbox 360 version of this game at all. Nobody's sweating the Xbox 360 version of this game. Every YouTuber plays the PlayStation 2 version of this game. Nobody plays the Xbox 360 version besides bougie ass niggas. Like real ones. We had this on the PS2. Everybody couldn't afford an Xbox 360. So this would do. Okay. Let's be real.
Graphics, they weren't that great. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like the models on PS2 still are on par for a 6th generation console in comparison to a 7th generation console like the Xbox 360. But I'm speaking from a PS2 perspective, so what do I know? You know what I'm saying? I do like the storylines. You know what I'm saying? In the season mode. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then like I said, the soundtrack, and then like this also was the first game where they let you play certain pay-per-views that they had through 2006. You know what I'm saying? However, those modes did kind of feel a little incomplete because um not every wrestler on the roster by the end of 2006 made the cut. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning to the end, that is. You know what I'm saying? Some wrestlers left. You know what I mean? So,
Well, they do the final roster. Well, back then, THQ used to do the final roster by WrestleMania season. So basically by April, which would be like right now. But if THQ was still running the WWE games right now, whoever on the roster, that's who makes the cut. And if Vince says, take this person off, take that person off, I don't want that person on the game. Because Vince can definitely make a couple calls and be like, hey, don't put him on the game. Because Brock Lesnar was going to be in SmackDown, the first SmackDown versus Raw, him and Goldberg, but Vince was like, take them both off. I don't want neither one of them on the game. Fuck both of them. I don't care. Because that's when the roster is finally made. So anybody who joins after WrestleMania, so for this one, it'll be WrestleMania 22. So because this one is WrestleMania 22, whoever was on the roster by WrestleMania 22, that's who makes the cut. That's how they used to do it back in the day. That's what a lot of wrestlers that used to be a part of WWE when THQ was running the show. That's what a lot of them would say. A lot of them said that you had to a lot of them said that the roster said whoever was on the roster by 2000, whoever was on the roster by WrestleMania season, that's who make the cut. So anybody that wasn't on anybody that may have come back after WrestleMania or around SummerSlam or whatever, they have to wait till next year's game. The game after the game after to get on the roster for the next video game. Sadly.
I also do like how they included Eddie Guerrero as a legend because this game was released a year after Eddie Guerrero's passing. So I felt like that was a nice touching tribute to have him as a playable legend. My main criticism about this game is that the grappling system was not it for me. For reasons why we'll get into in a second. Like some of the grappling has some funky motions, and that did carry over into the other SmackDown vs. Raws, but the other SmackDown vs. Raws definitely improved it. You know what I'm saying? Still had a nice 2-button reversal system, unlike the later games. Because the reason why 2010 and 2011 aren't above this game is because they had the 1-button reversal system that I still can't stand to this day. Meanwhile, this game had the 2-button reversals. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Another thing too is that I didn't like. I mean, I mean, I had to deal with it for what it was at the time, but I still didn't like how we had to pretty much unlock the championships. But it didn't seem like that bad of a clear condition to pretty much clear a storyline from both brands to get those belts. So I'm not even offended too much by that at all. Because guess what? If it wasn't for my number one pick, doing everything pretty much better than its predecessors, this game would have taken the top spot. Because number one.
Hold on, go back for me real quick. Okay. I have to say this though. As much as great as 06 is, this is my number one. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 will always be my number one. This will forever be my number one. SmackDown vs. Raw 07. This is forever my number one. It's not even up for debate. If you say that 06 is better, I understand. 06 was great, but 07, in my personal opinion, it's the one for me. That's just me though. That's just me though. But anyways though,
doing everything pretty much better than its predecessors, this game would have taken the top spot. Because number one, without a shadow of a doubt, is SVR 06. And the reason why, like I said, the grappling system was better. It went from like I'd rather use circle to grapple because that's what at this point I have been used to, instead of using the right stick to perform a grapple move, or a right stick and a L2 and L1 combination. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to do any of that to do that. Also, this introduced the fight clean, fight dirty mechanics and all of that. So, and depending on what you pick, the crowd would either boo or cheer you. And if you fought dirty, weapons would boost your meter. And then if you picked clean, weapons wouldn't boost your meter. So, that was a decent way to balance out the game, because face heel tactics and whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? The same things were in 07, but like, later games would later fix that. That's really only like one thing that's a gift and a curse about this game. But everything else, amazing. Buried alive matches, I loved them. Fulfill your fantasy, even though your parents had to not be in the room in order for you to do that.
She's so fine, fine, fine. She's a dime, dime, dime.
Yep. And you also had to be, you also had to experience the greatness that is the backstage brawl matches. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to pick your arenas for that. Like, and I always chose JBL's bar room because it had the jukebox and the bar stand and all that. And me and my cousin would kick each other's asses. But the best mode on here, hands down, is the general manager mode. Like, it was nothing like how it was first introduced to us. Like, I don't think it would hit the same now that 2K's trying to recapture this. But no, you could build your own rivalries, make your own storylines. You know what I'm saying? And then like they would review all the shows for you, and like pretty much you're competing against your guy, and like y'all could draft from each other's from the whole entire roster and sign people to contracts. So it's like running what I'm saying, a whole entire sports team down there. Like, y'all had cap spaces and all of that. You know what I mean? Y'all had to put certain wrestlers on injury reserve because injuries were a thing. You know what I'm saying? And like this game also had a pretty killer soundtrack. You know what I'm saying? Especially that Fireball Miniature song and that Static X and, Ron J Ain't Going Nowhere. Symphony of Destruction, The Dillinger Escape Plan, Unrectified Waiting, but Not Forgotten. I'm telling you, those songs are heat. And also, the season mode has some very, very good storylines. Like, one of them was, you trying to overcome Triple H. The other one was the Legends Tour. And then the main one on SmackDown, which is the best of them all, is who ran down Teddy Long. Depending on which path you took, and depending on which matches you won, either Chris Jericho was going to be revealed as the guy who ran out so long, and all you got to do is beat RVD for the WWE title at WrestleMania, or it was going to be revealed that it was you the whole time while you was accusing everybody else.
The ECW, you had to get the ECW story. The ECW story was hands down. That was the best. If I will say there's one thing about SmackDown versus Raw 06 that 07 just doesn't have, the storylines. That ECW storyline is still better than a lot of SmackDown versus Raw storylines to this day, including the Road to WrestleManias. And trust me, there's been some good Road to WrestleManias, but that ECW storyline, being a part of SmackDown and having that ECW storyline with all the ECW dudes coming out, and you got to defend the honor of SmackDown and Teddy Long and everybody, bro. Top tier storyline. I'm just saying.
And then like right behind that, I would put the storyline where you have to pretty much beat Eddie Guerrero to get the urn back to Undertaker. So yeah, that was a fun storyline. And then on Raw there was that storyline of William Regal and Tajiri feuding with Edge and Christian over the tag team belts, and then Trish Stratus trying to, you know, seduce Eugene and whatnot. That made for some great TV, man. Not only great TV, but great gaming, man. But yeah, man. So let's go ahead and recap this, man. At number 10, we got WrestleMania 2000. Number 9, No Mercy. Number 8, Mania 19. Number 7, Shut Your Mouth. Number 6, Here Comes the Pain. Number 5, DOR. SVR 11, number 4. Number 3 was SVR 10, number 4. Number 3 was SVR 11. And number 2 was SVR 07. And the GOAT, SVR 06. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, hit the subscribe button, and notification bell so you know whenever I upload. And I'm going to catch you all in the next list video. Let me know if y'all liking this format, if y'all love the new layout, the new setup, and all that. And I'll catch you all the very, very next time.
Alrighty, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one, man. Make sure I go subscribe to Maverick channel. You already know, man. We ain't reacted to a Maverick video. This is the first Maverick video in the new house. We ain't reacted to Maverick since we was in the old house. So, but yeah, man. That's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. For sure, this is a solid list, though. Definitely a solid list. Give you that. Solid list for sure. But anyway, so that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. No complaints here, because I just hate how everybody puts Here Come the Pain at number 1, and they try to put No Mercy at number 1. It's like, dog, these old prehistoric ass games, bro. Come on, bro. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. That's all I'm saying. Stop the cap. There's too much capping going on over here, bro.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit.
You gotta stop that, man. But anyway, so I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.